Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens haven't been able to come up with a contract extension for Jackson. They tried to negotiate a new contract last season, but didn't get close to agreeing to a deal. People expected the Ravens and Lamar Jackson to come to terms for a new contract during the offseason. However, they were unable to do so, which caused Baltimore to place a non-exclusive franchise tag on their QB. This meant that Lamar Jackson could talk to other teams to see if they would sign him to a contract. If Lamar does sign a new contract with another team, the Ravens have the right to match the team's offer and keep him. If Baltimore decides to let him walk, then the other team will have to give the Ravens 2 first-round picks in order to sign Jackson. Since the Ravens and Lamar still haven't come up with a contract extension, this has led to Lamar Jackson requesting for a trade. There are some teams that should trade for Lamar Jackson, like the Washington Commanders, New England Patriots, and Atlanta Falcons. However, the team that I think should ultimately trade for Jackson are the Indianapolis Colts. It makes sense for the Colts to sign Lamar Jackson because they are a team that needs a quarterback. They could obtain a QB in the draft, but they will already know what they are getting from Lamar Jackson rather than drafting a quarterback that might not even be good. There are also 3 teams ahead of them in the draft, but 2 of the teams likely drafting QBs, so the QB they want could be gone. The Colts have a good team, it's just that they are missing a quarterback to lead their offense. With the addition of Lamar Jackson, the Colts will definitely be in contention to make the playoffs. Indianapolis already has a solid defense with linebacker Shaquille Leonard and cornerback Kenny Moore II. They have a lot of offensive weapons as well, like running back Jonathan Taylor and wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. Ever since their franchise quarterback Andrew Luck retired, they have been looking for a quarterback that can take them far into the playoffs. What makes the Colts trade for Lamar different from trading for QBs like Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers in recent years is their new head coach Shane Steichen. Steichen was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, where he helped Jalen Hurts develop into an MVP candidate, with their plays mainly being run-pass options. I believe that Lamar Jackson will be able to succeed in the Colts' new offensive system, where he wouldn't have to change his style of play. It will really benefit the Colts to sign Lamar Jackson because they're a quarterback away from being a playoff team, but I would understand if they want to rebuild instead. I don't understand why the Ravens haven't come up with a new contract for Lamar because he has been playing outstanding during his time with Baltimore. Ever since the Ravens gave him a chance to be their starting quarterback, he proved to them that they can win a championship with him. In my opinion, Lamar has shown that he is worth the money he wants. He was an MVP in 2019, and he even helped the Ravens win a playoff game in 2020. He is still a young QB in the NFL and still has time to develop his game. If the Ravens decide to come to terms with Lamar's trade request, then they will definitely take a step back and become a rebuilding team. The effect Lamar Jackson has had on the Ravens can't be easily replaced, so they will have to either find a quarterback in the draft or hope to find a top quarterback in free agency or in a trade. I understand why the Ravens are hesitant to re-sign Lamar Jackson to a big deal since he has recently been dealing with injuries. So they might want to add something to his contract about how he has to play a certain amount of games to get more money. Although it might be better to pay him the money he wants rather than losing him for draft picks. The Ravens have put themselves in a terrible spot where they waited too long to pay their quarterback. Now Lamar Jackson has requested a trade and has shown a level of frustration with the deal still not being done. The Ravens have shown some intent to try and keep Lamar in their team because they just signed a good wide receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. Over the years, Odell has been seen as an elite receiver who has been a Pro Bowler and has even won a championship. He tore his ACL in the Super Bowl when he was with the Los Angeles Rams, which led to him not signing to a team last season. There is optimism that Odell can return to being a high-caliber player and help the Ravens. Even though Baltimore is showing Lamar that they want to build around him and obtain players that can help them win a Super Bowl, I still believe that Lamar won't play with the team unless the Ravens give him a contract extension. The Ravens' future is up in the air with them showing Lamar that they want to compete but still not giving him the money he wants. It's going to be interesting on what Baltimore will do the rest of the offseason because they can either turn their team into a contender or go the path of rebuilding.